said in my last video, Einstein's actually one of my heroes. Without him, I might have actually missed this. Well, probably not, but I might have. Had a little help as of late, seeing the truth of things. Now, E equals mc squared, touted as Einstein's relative breakthrough. This is actually, for me, kind of funny now that I think about it. When I first realized what it was, it actually kind of made me a little mad. But E equals mc squared is an unfinished math problem on purpose. Absolutely all energy takes place in time. There is no time component on that. When you calculate a cannonball, a grenade, a laser beam, I don't care what expression of energy it is, you calculate it in time. In other words, like in electronic equipment, you melt your wires because you're pumping too much energy per second, per moment, you know. There's no time portion of the E equals mc squared calculation, as in how much time does it take for mass to turn into light and thus be expressed as energy. So you go and create space-time and then leave your E equals mc squared without a time equation. Einstein was actually brilliant and brave because the rest of his whole career, he would tout this in their face and throw it back at them. Of course, I think most of the time they weren't smart enough to see it. So, but yes, Einstein helped perpetrate a fraud against the world, helped hide the ether, so that very rich and very powerful people could have the best possible shot at extracting energy from the ether before the rest of the world caught on. They tout Einstein's theory of relativity as this huge thing. They put out fanfare, they do this, they do that. How many people right now are actually aware of the fact that what Einstein did was made the ether disappear? Not very many. That's actually what the theory of relativity did. It made it not necessary to have a medium for light waves to travel through, the unified field theory. Wow. Could I possibly be right on that? Yeah, I could. Now, I might be crazy, but I'm not wrong. Here's how it goes. You're thinking at this point that, okay, what are you talking about? How is this possible? What about whatever became of extracting energy from the ether? Well, right now, there is one place in the entire world where they have managed to almost reproduce what they think is the beginning circumstances of the universe. It's called CERN. It is the largest collider ever built, atom collider ever built in the world, the most complex and expensive experiment in history. Potentially, it has the ability to provide power from the ether. Why else would somebody spend that kind of money on an experiment if they weren't going to get a return out of it, right? It's not the way money works. So, of course, here we have this absolutely massive, very expensive piece of equipment that probably people have paid for with their taxes. Somebody else will end up with all the patents. Probably, I don't know, relatives of J.P. Morgan or Rockefeller or that other guy. Now, here's the thing that I think maybe you might want to understand, is that in order to create the beginning circumstances of the universe, according to Big Bang Theory, which if they had kept ether in the mix, probably would have never actually came to fruition. But in order to do that, they have to suspend time. See, in order for all of the matter in the universe to have existed in a singularity, you can't have time. If you have time, it becomes a black hole, and nothing escapes a black hole, even one made from a small sun. And we're talking about something made from all the matter in the universe. One really big black hole. So, in the beginning of the universe, there was no time. If at CERN they managed to suspend time through that pinpoint which they suspend time. In that moment where there is no time, there is no limit on the amount of energy that can be expressed per moment. This is kind of scary in that 90% of the mass that we need to hold our universe together is missing. Not 10%, 90. That means that whatever it is out there, they call it dark matter, dark energy, the Higgs field, they can call it whatever they want. It's 90% of the mass that holds the universe together. It's heavy. You pop a hole in time, now that energy can collapse, come through that part, and that's going to be probably a little damaging to the environment. Fortunately for us, it's a lot like flicking a trampoline. The universe is already under tension. It's already established its balance. You're really not going to get too much out of it, I imagine, I hope, in that way. Now, that is the who, the why, and who benefits. And now we have to talk about the truth. The truth of it is that the only math that is proved out to be viable is superstring, or M-theory math. It provides a unified field theory, which they're still kind of looking for. But it requires multiple dimensions. Now, you might say that the multiple dimensions could have been created in the Big Bang, but then you would have to say that time didn't exist before the creation of all things. That doesn't actually work. Here's why. Okay. Time had to exist before anything else could. Okay? Because, quite literally, everything in existence is time moving at different speeds. Matter, energy, light, wave, all of it is time moving at different speeds. And nothing could exist in time without time. You see, when it comes to the planets, the Earth exists in what they call inertial space. And inertial space, of course, would be ether. But gravity that is produced from the displacement of space fabric, as Einstein put it, or ether, is created actually from the displacement of space fabric, which creates gravity, which slows down time. Therefore, gravity, or mass, is the inverse of time. Such to the extent that Einstein predicted gravitational lensing. And I think you might be safer to say that it's actually time lensing. It is not a property of gravity that bends light, but a property of time, in that time is changing speeds. That speed change bends light. Now, we take this a little further, and we can actually show that all particles behave like gyroscopes in space-time and are what they call space-stable elements, or particles, making the Earth as much a particle as particles themselves.